What if you started to realize that what you say on social media could help the next person not go through the same pain that you are going through? What if there is a purpose to complaints? What if there is a purpose to actual attacks on other people? Again, not the perfect message, but I think that there is many different positive variations of social media, which is what I'm going to get into today during the Daily Truth. I'm Anthony Michael Russo. I hope everybody is having a great start, mid-start, somewhere mid-morning to their day, West Coast starting there, whatever. Like this video, share this video, do all the things with this video. Little freeze there. Sorry about that. Put some comments in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. I see some people jumping on Facebook and all that right now. All right. Before I get started, while I let people come in, I do about a minute of telling you what's going on Wednesday night, which is tomorrow. I do have my free speaking class. Just go to www.doubledownspeaking.com. Again, that's doubledownspeaking.com. Register for free. Toastmasters on steroids. My biggest favorite thing to do. And then that leads into all the other stuff I do with speaking coaching, speaking classes, speaking stuff. So check that out. Go ahead, doubledownspeaking.com. My Bio Precision Make Wellness Peptides. I did a little video on my Instagram today. Had the chest out, the shirt off, little chest hair for little shiz and grins, if you know what I mean. It was pretty funny. If you want to check that out, go to my Instagram. The link is there at Anthony Michael Russo, at Anthony Michael Russo. That's how you got to check it out. In the link, you'll go to my Make Wellness Bio Precision Peptides. Woo! That's where you check that out. My clothing gear, clothing and merch and all that stuff for The God's Got You and Pets Are a Lifetime Commitment, as well as some of the funny political stuff, all available by that same link. Go check that out on the Instagram at Anthony Michael Russo. That's pretty much what I got for you to start. We're 2 minutes in. We got 9 people watching, and they're starting to jump in. It looks like it was shared a little bit on X, so more people come in. All right. I'm going to be breaking. Oh, last thing. Tonight is the final. Very hard for me to see because I put this up on several different platforms, but it's the final for this group number 4 of my 8-week speaking course. If you are interested in watching us tonight, we do the judging. We go one by one. Everybody does their 5-minute presentation. You'll be inspired, motivated, and also it's exciting to watch people have judges tell them how they did and score it, and we get a winner. The winner gets a $50 gift card. Out of my 8-week group or my 8-week course. 6 lovely ladies had great messages. Make sure you check that out. If you're interested, send me a DM on or if you're on the Facebooks, I see it. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and say interested, and I'll send you the Zoom link. It's at 6 p.m. tonight. It's about an hour and a half is how long the contest takes. All right. So without further ado, I want to have this conversation. So Kelly tends to be a little bit more stoic than me on social media, but last week we had an issue with somebody that did not. It's multiple things had led up to it. I mean, the girl that was helping her with the horses was decent for the most part. Didn't show up on time. Typically, always kind of had an excuse. Really, seemingly sweet girl. However, the last straw was the fact that right after we lost a horse to colic, which actually didn't have to do with not having water, it just was a freak thing with the small intestine. But that's how colic in horses typically works. And anyways, we've been dealing with that. We're dealing with another horse that's been struggling badly with issues that we know that we're going to have to put down sooner than later. And then there's the fact that our dog's been sick, all these different things. And this person knows this. And I'll get into why this is a social media thing. And somehow lied to Kelly's face about filling waters and saying that they were half full or whatever. And we ended up having 3 horses in a pasture without water for, we hope, only 12 to 24 hours. Could have even been longer because that was a responsibility of hers. Incredibly bad, incredibly dangerous, incredibly crappy. So Kelly went off on a post, which caused people to reach out. And I'm somebody that loves to use social media for a couple different things. One, share positivity. I think that's the ultimate thing. Share positivity, share fun videos of animals. These are 2 things, makes people smile. It's happy, it's joyful. Social media is also the avenue where you air your grievances. We had issues with Frigidaire for months on Twitter. It didn't help. It should have, because I was talking to corporate, but corporate was an Indian facility that never once could do anything. But you complain in order to actually find a way, especially on social media. This is how it's linked, because people actually are listening, and these companies are going to interact with people based on the fact that they want to save face. That's one. Now, when it comes to interpersonal relationships and people that you do business with in close proximity, this is the time you share things. And I want you to think of it in this sense, because one of the people reached out and talked about bad examples of having to deal with the exact same person that Kelly out there and said. And I don't think Kelly did everything correct, and I'm going to specify why in a second. But people reached out saying, similar things happen, had to bail this person out, all like a lot of different things that would have been, that we could share on social media to protect people, so it's kind of out there. And maybe this person did, but maybe it was multiple things we heard. And I really appreciate the people speaking out, because it made Kelly feel like she wasn't alone, like that she wasn't losing her mind, that this person just all of a sudden became a shish show. I'm not saying the swear word. I know I'm on OBBM. Shish. SHISH. Anyways, so I'm somebody that, trust me, if I could, I would say as much as possible. I had a crap interaction with somebody by the name of Jeff. If you're in the industry, I think he's crap. I'm having trouble not swearing today. Crap human being. What happened to us when we lost a horse, I think, was bull crap. And the way that it was dealt with. And I don't believe in, when somebody fails at doing their job, we should have to pay them for gauze to do it. But I couldn't say it because I was respecting Kelly's wishes. But I feel like once we did have conversations with people, multiple people said that they had the same issue with this boarding facility. And then you've got, and I want to protect other people and give them the opportunity of realizing that when you drop them off at this and many boarding facilities, you actually lose your rights. It's very interesting. Very interesting. People don't know this because there's no vet on board, like no DVM on board. Then there's people that people really like, and Kelly still likes, that I just want to wring the neck of, because it's cost us well over $20,000 to save a horse. And I think there was one, like, sorry about that, because there was neglect when she was being trained, when Racy was being trained, and we're fighting it now, and daily not knowing when we're going to have to eventually euthanize her because of a mistake that was left to go for 6 or 7 days without treatment. But Kelly will typically not go after these people. I want to go after every single one of them. I'll call them on the phone. I'll say it. David Harmon's another one where I posted on social media and let people know the situation. I share these things to protect people. It's the same as when you have women coming forward 30 years after something with the R word supposedly happened, and then deciding to make it the right time to tell people that happened. The problem is, you could have, I know it's difficult, but you have to say things to protect other people. But you also have to be truthful, which is this paradigm that we are in this country, where we are not overly altruistic human beings, and we can ruin somebody's career with false information. We can ruin somebody's career with a false accusation that is completely not true. So there is this like middle ground of how do you make sure you're telling the truth? And this is where it all comes back to. And this is the one area I think Kelly could have done differently. And I love that she spoke up for herself. I love that she got angry. I love that she says, do not hire this person. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. But because we live in a society where people sling things at each other all the time and false accusations, you have to get a little bit more in depth, which is why I also put a comment underneath it. If you are going to attack somebody, I think the idea of being specific is important, because we live in a world where people lie way too much. So you be specific about the incidences, the timing, so that if you're ever called on it, you can provide a screenshot, or you could provide a message, or you could provide examples, or whatever it might be. And also, a little bit of past history. It takes a little extra time, but it also makes it a little bit more powerful for the next person to avoid this kind of interaction. So again, today's message is a weird one for the Daily Truth, but the truth is that there is a purpose to social media that sometimes is more on the negative tone in order to make sure you are letting people know to avoid circumstances, avoid people, avoid working with people. And it's throwing a little bit of mud, but it's when it's deserving to throw that little bit of mud that all of a sudden you actually are helping the next person avoid same situation. And maybe, just maybe, helping the person that you are talking about or the business that you are talking about go, I need to change. It may not help. It's not going to happen with that relationship, but maybe after that, you realize you need to become the person that you should have been in the first place and start becoming better. A lot can happen from a simple social media share because that's the world we live in 2025. That's the modern world, is that social media is the town hall where people get to learn the issues with each other. I beg of you to be truthful. I beg of you to be honest. But if anybody questions if you are, it's very simple. Give as many details as possible and let the two parties duke it out. That's the situation. And then you're protecting people from future pain. That's what I have. I mean, I almost did a video at the beginning of the year, but I wanted to be positive. So I was literally going to air my grievances of all the people that have screwed Kelly and I over for the last 2 years or done something that ended up hurting us to the tune that, I mean, we're between Gertie and Racy, which were two actionable mistakes by the people. And I ended up having to even pay lawsuit fees on one because I couldn't sue the person I wanted to that would have needed to be done because this person's too good of a person and we use that person for certain things. It's a whole mess. But regardless, there's two people that literally across the board cost Kelly and I, Kelly specifically, $40,000. And one had the audacity to sue us because we wouldn't pay a $1,500 bill for gauze and some shots. They wouldn't even get a discount, by the way. Wouldn't even get a discount. And then the other one's just a good person that doesn't know how to take responsibility because that's the world we live in. When you screw up, be so apologetic that it goes over the top so you feel like somebody cares. That's my rant for today. Sorry. That's what I got for you. Not the most positive message. Be a decent human being. Don't surrender your pets. God bless. Use social media for positivity and also to protect people for future mistakes dealing with crappy human beings. God bless. Have a great rest of your day. Don't surrender your pets. Don't be a garbage human being. I already said that. Take it easy. Oh, speaking class tomorrow night. If you want to join me, doubledownspeaking.com. It's free, 6 p.m.